Terry Paine was selected, suited, ready, and then erased. He didn't play in the final, he didn't walk out to the anthem, he didn't hear the crowd call his name. He stood behind the line, boots on, heartbeat still, and watched the game pass without him. He wasn't injured, he wasn't out of form, they just changed the system and left him out of history. Others became lions, he became a shadow. No speech, no glory. Just silence worn like a kit. They celebrated the team, but skipped his name. Not a mistake, a decision. He gave everything, crosses, goals, grit. And when it mattered most, they left him on the edge of the frame, as if he'd never been there at all. He walked away without a word, no headline, no bitterness. Just the quiet grief of knowing you helped build something they never let you touch. Subscribe for the ones who were cut from the photo but carried the team anyway. Terence Lionel Paine was born on 23rd of March 1939 in Winchester, England. No academy, no youth programme. Just a railway town, a stitched ball, and a boy who ran when others rested. He didn't grow up dreaming of fame, he grew up working. As a teenager, he built train carriages at the Eastleigh Railway Works. Metal by day, football by night. No one was scouting him. No one was calling him special, but he played like the game belonged to him. He joined Winchester City in 1954. Lean, quiet, two-footed, the type of winger who didn't ask for space. He made it. Southampton saw it. Brought him in by 1956, a chance, not a promise. He didn't wait for another. In 1957, at just 17 years old, Terry Paine made his first team debut. No fanfare. No expectation. Just boots on grass and lungs that never quit. He never left. For the next 18 seasons, he played more games than anyone in the club's history. Never alone, never a trade. Just red and white. Every week, every year, through division climbs and slips. He wasn't the name on the poster. He was the reason they came back the next week. He was too good to ignore. By 1963, they finally called him up. Terry Paine, England international, winger, provider, relentless runner. He wore the shirt with pride, stood in line for the anthem. No ego, no noise, just precision. In one of his first starts, he tore through Northern Ireland. Hat-trick at Wembley. First outside right to do it since Stanley Matthews. He didn't celebrate, he didn't claim the moment, he just jogged back to his wing, ready to serve again. But England was changing. Alf Ramsey wanted something new. Tactics, discipline, control. Not wide men with freedom. Not wingers with rhythm. Not Terry. They shifted the formation, dropped the wings, called it wingless wonders. He was still in the squad, still training, still ready. But they stopped passing him the ball, stopped calling his name. He played one game in the 1966 World Cup. A group match against Mexico. Solid, quiet, reliable. Then, gone. The rest of the tournament passed with Terry Paine watching from the bench. Not injured, not suspended. Just left out. England won. History remembered 11 and left the rest in silence. While England looked away, Southampton never let go. From 1957 to 1974, Terry Paine became more than a player. He became the system. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud, but week after week, he was first on the team sheet and last to stop running. 7 or 13 league appearances, 160 goals, but those are just numbers. The truth lived in the way the ball followed him, like it knew where to go before he touched it. He played in every division, 3rd, 2nd and 1st. He never asked to leave. Not when the club slipped. Not when offers came. Not even when the legs got heavy. He crossed the ball, turned back to defend and did it again. He was the type managers trusted, without looking. The type teammates leaned on when the stands went quiet. The kind of player that never made excuses, just made himself available. No scandal, no transfers, no circus, just football, played the way it was meant to be. They tried to replace him. No one came close. 17 years, 800 games, and no send-off worthy of the weight he carried. In 1974, Terry Paine walked out of Southampton, quietly. No full stadium, no banners in the sky, just a closed door and a quiet thank you. He didn't complain. He never did. He packed his boots and moved on. Hereford United gave him a new shirt. Player coach down in the 3rd division. No cameras followed. No press made it front page. But Paine turned up like always. Fit, focused, ready to serve. In 1976, they won the league. Another climb, another chapter. Same man. Later came Cheltenham Town. A few more games, a few more whispers. Still no farewell. The game moved on. But the fans never did. They remembered the runs, the crosses, the man who never let them down. Others left with fireworks. He left with clean boots, steady hands, and no need to explain anything. He left the pitch, but the game left him long before that. No headlines, no interviews, no second chances in management. Just years, quiet, long, and ignored. He moved to South Africa, took up the microphone, broke down matches with the same sharp mind he once used to break defences. He didn't chase attention, didn't correct the record, didn't remind anyone what they owed him, but they knew. The fans who remembered, the teammates who never forgot, the ones who saw the crosses that changed matches when no one else was watching. He gave England a calm professionalism they never bothered to reward. And yet, he never turned bitter, never raised his voice, never called for recognition. He never stopped. Not after Southampton, not after Hereford, not after Cheltenham. Football ended for others. Terry Paine just kept working, became a respected voice in broadcasting, covering Premier League games and international football with the same calm control he once showed on the wing. He didn't speak loud, didn't try to go viral, he just analysed the game like someone who understood its bones. And people listened. Back home, his name returned quietly. Not in headlines, but in nods. From real football men who remembered what he gave. In 2013, Southampton named him honorary president. A gesture from the club he never left to the man who never walked out. It wasn't hype, it wasn't overdue, it was right. By then, Terry Paine had lived a full life in the game, player, coach, broadcaster, president. And through it all, he carried the same traits. Work, calm, loyalty. He never needed their spotlight. Because he never chased it. And that's exactly why he still earns respect today. They didn't speak in headlines, but they spoke the truth. Dixie McNeil, who played under him at Hereford, said, "Terry would say, 'Show me the number on your back and I'll put it over your shoulder to score.' No brag, just delivery." They trusted his passes like they trusted sunrise. Old teammates didn't talk about flair, they talked about dependability, about how he never missed a game, about how he played hurt, played tired, played because he didn't know how not to. Managers described him as a player who made things simple for everyone else. Not the star, not the show, but the rhythm beneath the match. When Hereford reached the top of the third division, it was Paine's voice they followed. A coach who had done it all, and never once raised his voice to prove it. The best ones never had to shout. And Paine barely spoke, because when the game kicked off, everyone knew who was leading. They say you know a great player by how teammates describe him. With Paine, there was no debate, only respect, quiet, sharp, permanent. Terry Paine is now 86 years old, still standing, still quiet, still everything the game should have honoured louder. He gave them over 800 games for Southampton. He gave England 19 caps and 7 goals, and never once asked for more. When it ended, he didn't beg for legacy, just played his last match. His final competitive appearance for Southampton came away at Burnley 22nd April 1974. The club then staged a farewell match in his honour on 29th April 1975, Southampton v Ipswich. No spotlight. In time, they gave him an MBE. They made him honorary president of the club he never left. And fans, real fans, kept his name alive. Some forgot, some never saw. But those who watched never needed reminding. He built his life the same way he played. Loyal, quiet, solid. A long marriage, 5 children. And a legacy that doesn't need shouting to be felt. No need for monuments, no hunger for fame. Just a name that still means something to the ones who know what football really is. Subscribe if you believe greatness isn't claimed. It's proven, then remembered.